Hey guys, it's Steve. I'm here to make an announcement today. For a couple of years, my friends and associates have asked me to do a devotion series, and I've just never really felt like I had the schedule and the ability to do it well enough that it can make a difference. But I've been rethinking that for a little bit, and I want to uh, try a weekly series, maybe. I won't promise, but as much as I can, a weekly series that allows us to get to know one another a little better and get to know the word as we dig in here. And I'm going to call it the series, I'm going to call Think About That. It's one of my preaching phrases. I always tell everybody, think about that. So I've got no idea how it's going to go or what we're going to do, or even if I'm capable of doing a good enough resource that anybody cares. But I'm going to start this week with what I call a lesson that's entitled Glory Eyes. So let's dig in for a minute. A couple of weeks ago, Lisa and I took a trip to my mom's house in Louisville, Kentucky. Since it's been the perfect season of fall and the leaves were changing and the colors were beautiful along the way, we drove along a particular stretch of road, and the reds were so gorgeous, and the greens and oranges and yellows were all complementing one another. And I just saw one section that really stood out to me, and I looked at Lisa and I said, hey, check that tree out. It is gorgeous. She was on her phone playing a game, and she looked up and checked out the tree and looked right back down. And I thought, what a crazy reaction to that glorious beauty I just saw. Maybe I'm just imagining things, so I wanted to grab my camera and take a picture or two to see that I didn't forget about it. So when I went to snap a shot, I pulled it down, and I had to take my glasses off in order to see my adjustments better. And when I did, I came to a realization that that red wasn't nearly as red as I thought it was, and the orange wasn't as brilliant as I thought it was, because I had on colored glasses. We often overlook the glorious things because we don't put on the eyes of the Spirit. We can miss the truth that literally changes our destination. There's several times in Scripture we see where people looked at the exact same circumstances and saw it differently. Why? Why is it that some people can see the fullness of God while others miss it? Well, it has to do with the lenses with which we view the promises of the Lord. I love the Bible verse that says, those who seek the Lord will find him. Easy enough, right? Seek, find. Well, it's only easy if when you're seeking, you expect to find him. See, Scripture tells us that we're supposed to put on the mind of Christ so that we understand the fullness of the gospel. We're also told to put on the full armor of God to protect ourselves. So it isn't surprising that we need to put on the eyes of God in order to see things correctly. Philippians 4:8 tells us to look at things a certain way. What that means is we're to look for lovely things, noble things, things of good report. These are the things we're supposed to think on. We need to put on intentional eyes of glory to see the fullness of God's promise. Now, Matthew 13:16-17 says this, blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For many prophets and righteous people long to see what you see and didn't see it, and to hear what you hear and didn't hear it. You see, Jesus shared with the disciples several times that he said things in parables because people that were truly seeking him, people that were truly wanting to know the truth, would understand the parables. These are people that put on spiritual eyes, the eyes of God, to perceive the deep things of God. By the same measure, we only see the glory, we only see the lovely and the good report if we put on those filters of God. Remember Caleb in the book of Joshua? Caleb and Joshua went with 10 other spies to the other side. They went into the promised land and to see what was there. Funny thing is, they all saw the exact same thing, but only Joshua and Caleb saw the promise. But only 2 put on the lenses of truth. So what are you looking at? What are you missing that is supposed to be your future? The other day, I snapped off a phrase that seems to be bouncing back to me more than I planned, and it went like this: our job is to see the glory, not the garbage. You see, if we put on the filters of God's lovely, we will see glory we never imagined. Think about that.